And I always love it when players find motivation in betting lines because no one is setting the betting lines with the idea of pissing off, sorry, Manchester, the players on the team that is favored to lose. It's all about getting equalized betting on each side. So it's a reflection of the perception of the public. So if you're going to be mad, you got to be mad at the world. The world thinks you're going to lose. And in this case, the world thinks the Browns are going to lose by 11.5 points. Jeudy, Browns receiver, Denzel Ward, Browns cornerback, not happy with that. Here they are from yesterday with their reaction to the fact that the Browns are 11.5-point dogs when they go to Baltimore to face the old Browns.
You know, that's disrespectful by the end of the day. You know, if they think Baltimore could beat us like that, we're gonna have to prove them another thing.
It's definitely disrespect, but we just gotta go in there and take care of business. So regardless of what people may think and who they got winning or losing the game, we gotta go in and try to beat the odds. They putting us against the odds. We gotta go in there and try to beat it.
We've been doing this show in one form or another since January of 2011, and we have shown over the years many press conference clips. I'm scanning my memory bank as I formulate the words here, but I don't recall one where shirt was optional. I don't know that there's a sign as you walk into the press room that says no shirt, no shoes, no service. But Jeudy, that's a bold choice. Shirtless for his press conference. So anyway. You could lose your shirt if you bet on the Browns because chances are they are going. But who knows? They went to Baltimore 2 years ago and won 33-31. It was the only time that we saw anything from Deshaun Watson that made people say, hey, maybe they got something here. And then like 2 days later, he had a fractured shoulder, and that was that for Deshaun Watson in 2023, which opened the door for the eventual arrival of Joe Flacco, and they went to the playoffs, and he was comeback player of the year, even though they lost as favorites. Think about that. Texans, home underdogs to the Browns. Maybe they saw that as disrespectful and used that as fuel to beat the Browns. So I like it when players look for anything to get them motivated. And here's how motivation works, I believe. I mean, yes, it makes you focus during the game. I think motivation has its best impact and connection to the outcome of a game by getting you to do all the stuff you'd rather not do, you'd make excuses to not do in the quiet moments when no one's looking. You don't watch that extra 5 minutes of film. You don't spend that extra 10 minutes in your playbook. You don't just make sure you go the extra mile with your sleep, with your hydration, all the little building blocks that get you fully formed and ready to go for the game. You study extra hard for the test. I think that's where the benefit comes from with external motivation, because it's one thing to be doing your job with thousands present and millions watching. It's another thing to be sitting at home when there's a new episode of South Park that you'd like to watch, or there's a book you want to read, right? I'm going to keep using that thing the whole damn show. But in those moments, do you take full advantage of the quiet time that you have to study, to learn, to prepare? Are you watching your diet? Are you consuming enough water so you don't get cramps in the third quarter of a game where it could be in the mid-70s? Anytime I see a guy get cramps this time of year, the first thing is that's on him because he's not properly hydrated. If you're properly hydrated, that doesn't happen. So those are all things that flow from the motivation that comes from the perception of disrespect. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.